Hey guys, welcome back. We're on season 2 of the Pizza Story podcast. I have Nick today from Lucky Nick's Pizza. So, Nick, hi. Thanks for joining.
Of course. Thanks for having me. Excited to be a part of the lineup that you've had going.
I'm so excited to have you on this podcast, and I've really been looking forward to it. I look at your Instagram page all the time, and pizza looks just like absolutely incredible. And I want to hear your story and how you got into pizza.
Thanks. Yeah, I guess my story's fairly new compared to a lot of other guys, I guess. I really started out, my only culinary experience was at Nordstrom Cafe, which is like funny to say now, but it really did teach me kind of the fundamentals of food. A lot of things were, from scratch. We did everything in house. So that's kind of my background in food in general. But pizza really wasn't until the pandemic happened, which seems to be the story with a lot of guys in my situation. But yeah, there was a video. I told the story a few times, but Anthony Mangieri from Una Pizza was, you know, I saw a video. I think it was like a Vice video or maybe like a Munchies, but yeah, I watched that thing probably 100 times before I ever made a pizza. There was something that really, just kind of struck a chord with me, and I really felt like an attachment. And it wasn't until the pandemic hit, lost my job, started toying around with the idea of making pizza. I knew that sourdough pizza was something that I wanted to focus on.
Yeah.
And at first, it was more just a hobby. My wife had surprised me with a Gosney. At the time, it was a rock box. Started making pizzas right away. I made my own starter, did that whole thing. Really tried to do like the super Neapolitan, super wet dough, 00 flour, buffalo mozz. Started selling that out of my house. And yeah, it just kind of picked up. It was, it went from friends to friends of friends to just people that heard about it. And it might have been maybe 2 to 3 months in, I was like, okay, I got to get a wood oven. And so, yeah, I started a GoFundMe, was able to raise most of the money for it. And then right off the bat, I think even before we got the trailer, we booked our first catering gig. It's crazy to think about now. I mean, we were making probably 20 pies in this giant wood fired oven, which is kind of defeats the purpose. But anyway,
Yeah.
throughout the years, started doing pop ups. Our friends at Homage Brewing were like some of the first ones to really let us kind of sell our pizzas there. From there, the crowds just grew and grew. We went from 20 pizzas to 50 to 70 to 100. I mean, now we're doing 2 to 300. They're easy. Eventually, a lot of my staff was just customers and they wanted to get in on it and have fun and make pizza. And yeah, we're about 5 years in. We're still doing it. We focus mostly on catering now, which has been great. We have a commissary in Uplands where we're able to do more, which has been nice. Still doing pop ups from time to time. Brick and mortar is still, that's the goal. But at the same time, we're not stressing out. We're pretty busy, so we know we'll get there.
That's so awesome. So, I want to talk to you a little bit about sourdough because
Mhm.
I've talked to a lot of different people on the podcast, and that definitely seems to be like the best mode of operation for dough these days.
Yeah, I think everyone has a different like love hate with sourdough. I guess sourdough is all that I've ever known. Again, I didn't start making pizza until later, so everything I've learned in pizza has been sourdough. So I've really learned to love it and appreciate it. And I think for our form of business, which is a pop up slash catering, sourdough gives us a unique opportunity to maybe have the dough out for longer than certain people using commercial yeast. It's very very temperamental. Where for us, we're really focusing on it's summer months. Let's adjust the flour. Let's adjust the sourdough. And just flavor wise, I think it's to me personally, it's just a superior product as far as flavor. I prefer the texture a lot, and I'm able to achieve a lot of things that people I think kind of assume is just with the yeasted dough, and a lot of that comes with knowing how to work a wood fired oven.
Hmm.
But like things like it being more crunchy, more well done, a lot more structure to it. But yeah, I think sourdough it's super romantic. It's fun. Like we control the entire product, which has been really really fun.
Hmm.
And a lot of our team has a lot of background with bread as well. So I think it's a win-win for everyone. It's just something that we all know and can figure out whether it's a 50-degree day or it's 100 degrees out.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, do you guys have a standing menu or do you change out your items?
So they're different for catering and for pop-ups. For catering, we have packages, and then from there we have like a set menu, and then the customer can pick out their specials or their apps or their salads. As far as a pop-up goes, we try to treat it like almost like a New York slice shop, if you will. Like we have four choices, an occasional rotating special, one or two starters. We'll have a dessert, and we'll just streamline it. And a lot of that is because of how busy we get. We have tried it where we have 10 pizzas, and whoever's on topping doesn't appreciate it all the time, but also just doesn't make sense, because 60 to 70% so it's going to be pepperoni.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, do you have your own favorite pizza?
Yeah, are you saying like in general or my own?
Like, well, I guess in general, like the type of pizza you like to eat.
It's been getting popular recently, but I love tavern style.
Mhm.
I love thin cracker, well done. That's
Crispy.
Yeah, like one where I
Yeah.
can crush a whole pie and be fine with it.
Mhm.
A lot of our friends are starting to do it now. They have brick and mortars, and they have pizza master ovens, and so they're able to do all different types of pizza.
Mhm.
So that's been fun to see. I would say as of right now, that's been my favorite. It always changes though. I don't hate.
Yeah, no, I don't discriminate when it comes to pizza. It's all good, but yeah, I love tavern style lately. It's been really, really crispy and delicious.
Yeah, no, and there's something about the party cut too.
So
There's something about the party cut. It's just fun to eat.
yeah, yeah, absolutely, I agree with that. So in terms of your own pizza, what's your favorite?
I think Guilty Party is still going to be my number one, which is that's been on the menu since day one. And it's kind of, I'm sure maybe you've had this issue where like you come up with a pizza so early on and you make it so much, you're like, man, why did I do this? But it's still so good.
Yeah.
That was like my first specialty pie I was selling out of the house.
Mm,
A lot of people were doing backstory. It's crushed tomato, low moisture mozz, hot sopressata, crushed pistachio, and hot.
mm.
But yeah, there's just something about that flavor combination: salty, sweet, spicy. Pistachios were just a nod to Chris Bianco's rosa pie. It didn't make it like now. I'm like, it's not even the same pizza, but it was just I thought it was cool at the time, and I did it. It's outside of pepperoni. That's probably our number one seller.
Yeah, that would be my order
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
for sure. And we like ranch here, so we got to have a side of ranch.
Yeah, I agree with that. You gotta dip it in the ranch.
Yeah.
And then do each one of your pizzas, do they have, like, the titles and the stuff on the menu? I mean, besides, like, your plain pepperoni, do they have, like, a special meaning?
Yeah, so all the pizzas outside of like marinara and margarita,
Yeah.
because it kind of felt counterintuitive to like name them something other than that, because that's just what they are.
Yeah.
But all of our pizzas are named after songs, and the reason for that, I've been doing that since early on and before, or I guess during food too. But I used to be a touring musician and was did that whole thing. So music's a very important part of my life. And
Mhm.
so they're just all named after songs. Try to keep them to 2 or 3 words. I don't try to do the whole Fall Out Boy thing and it's like 10-word song title. But just something, if like something is spicy, try to find a song that has the word hot in it. Or I try to play around like that, keep it pretty streamlined so they know what they're eating, but sometimes there's some funny titles.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Do people ask about the titles?
Yeah, we get it quite often. And kind of just tell them that they're just based off songs. A lot of people get confused sometimes. I know guilty party, a lot of people call it guilty pleasure, which I mean that could work too.
Sure.
But yeah, they're just all songs. It's really fun. Whenever the team comes up with pies, we try to whatever song they're feeling, kind of go for it within reason. But yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And the name Lucky Nicks, do you have, like, a special meaning or special reasoning behind the name?
So when I started, my friend Cameron, he's the one who did all of our branding.
Mhm.
he was also in a band with me. We're very much into tattooing, so Lucky, Horseshoes, Seven, like all that sort of like,
Yeah.
you know, those sort of images. I knew I kind of wanted to tie it in, not necessarily Lucky, but we just had a bunch of names written down like in our notes and we were sending them to each other. And I saw Lucky's, I think it was like Lucky Pizza, and then like it was just gonna be like Nick's Pizza, like a Joe's or something. I was like, what about Lucky Nick's? And we put it together and we were both down with it. And I mean, it's taken on its own meaning too. Like I genuinely feel like, no pun intended, I feel very lucky. Like the fact that we're 5 years in and I've been able to, you know, build this thing with the help of my team, and my team's awesome. And very supportive family. It's like I couldn't ask for more, and we're on a really good path. And yeah, I feel like it's just the beginning. Yeah,
That's awesome. I feel like anyone that gets to do what they love is very lucky.
100%. Yeah, I it does. I mean, I get to take my kids to school. I get to be with them a lot. Like
Yeah.
they don't like it when we have to like go out to go pick up, 10 bags of flour, a bunch of cheese, and this and that. But it's like, I try to explain to them, like, not every parent gets to experience, like, get to spend this much time while working, or, getting to make my own schedule, or we're going on a vacation soon. It's like, I would have never done that having ran someone else's kitchen. So very
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. So what does the future hold for Lucky Nicks?
good question. I mean, I'm constantly looking for a location. There's been stuff that's like, and I'm sure you've dealt with this. It's like you have an LOI in hand, and it's just like all these things, and just things don't match up, and it's a lot harder than I anticipated, kind of going into it. But with that being said, the more we're doing the catering, the more we're doing the pop ups, a lot less pressure has come to achieve those things, because I know they are going to come. It's just, right time and right place. So for right now, we're just booking a ton of weddings. We have a lot of pop-ups now, which has been nice. We kind of chilled out for a bit, expanding the menu, and yeah, hopefully finding that permanent location.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I've had a bunch of people on my podcast, and one person, Professor Pizza, he talked about, different situations he went through with locations, and I think it's
Mm,
just one of those things that eventually the location will come to you.
yeah. No, I agree. Like we've had developers come to us with these like insane offers, and in the back of my head, I'm like, it's too good to be true. And like, you go through all the hurdles and trying, and it's like, okay, like you send it to a lawyer, and it's like, no, that doesn't, like, things don't add up. And so, yeah, I mean, I like things like that. I think we all do, but it's definitely taught me a lot of patience, and it'll happen.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be scrolling one day and just see you guys on there. It's gonna happen.
Thanks. Oh yeah, it will.
Yeah, totally. Now, do you have somebody in the industry or any like different people in the industry that you feel inspired by?
Oh man, I mean, these days a lot, like a name that I bring up a lot is Alex. He owns Hot Tongue Pizza, and he's been amazing. Every single, like, he built a whole brick and mortar out of a Subway that he thought was like ready to go, and little did he realize how much he had to change. So
Hmm.
he has so much knowledge just on that front alone. So when I was going through all the leases and stuff, I was asking him a lot of questions. But just in general, his team is such a well-ran team. Like, I go there and he's not there, and it's just like they're just so focused, but like still having fun. His setup, his menu, his pizza. So that's definitely a guy that I really look up to. And then like another, I'm getting inspired by like people in our area. So we're from the IE, which is like, we're like 45 to an hour east of Los Angeles. So we
Hmm.
get tied in with that a lot, which is cool. And a lot of our businesses there, but we're kind of the only ones doing what we're doing here. But now I'm seeing a lot of like young chefs that are like really trying to do cool things and make it, make the IE a destination for food. So that's really cool, because then that kind of pressures me to like, okay, like there's kids that are coming that want to do this, and so like I need to figure out ways to, what can we make better? Yeah, and I mean, of course, the classics like Chris Bianco's a big one.
Yeah.
Um, Anthony Mangieri is still a big one, uh, and then a lot of the products we use, like, whether it's the flour, the cheese. those things inspire me a lot.
Do you have certain flours and cheeses where you're like, I only use this or I only use this hot honey?
Yeah. So flour, we use a blend, King Arthur and then Karen Springs,
Mhm.
which I'm actually getting to go next month. They're going to open up a new mill. So I'm going to fly out to Seattle and head out there and check that out. But I met those people for the first time at Pizza Expo a couple months ago, and it's like I've known them forever. And I was already using their product, but it's so nice putting a face to that, and it makes me only want to use them. So yeah, that's been great. Rob DiNapoli of DiNapoli Tomatoes. We use Bianco DiNapoli. He was actually one of the first people to donate to my GoFundMe. I had no like at the time I
Wow.
had no clue, and I was like, "Who's Rob DiNapoli? Like, who's Rob?"
Yeah.
And then like he sent me a message, and like I was like tripping out. So Rob's since then has been a great friend. Yeah, Zab's hot honey. I know everyone likes Mike's. No hate, but Zab's is delicious. Miles, the owner, kind of reached out pretty early on, and we've been using that since.
Mhm.
Cheese views grande. We kind of go depending on the type of pizza. Grande is usually like the base,
Mhm.
but like Di Stefano's in our backyard. They're a pretty big cheese maker. I know Chris uses a lot of their stuff.
Mhm.
So cheese, I'm not like super tied to. I do like trying different things, but other than that, yeah.
That's awesome. Those are all solid ingredients. I love the DiNapoli tomatoes. I think they're just incredible.
Yeah, no, we use the blue can,
Mm.
which is the crushed, and I know people say, those are pretty expensive, but it's like all we do is add salt to them, and like because we've tried adding garlic and herbs and like all this other stuff, it's like just on its own, and then for the high heat too, like the puree that they add, it doesn't lose moisture. It's super consistent, so we really like those.
Yeah, they're so delicious.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned the Pizza Expo. Tell me about your experiences with the Pizza Expo.
Yeah, this was our third year. It was only me and one of my team members this time.
Mhm.
Uh, First couple years, I was pretty intimidated because it's so overwhelming. It's just
Yeah.
so much. And like at the time, I mean, we're still little guys, but at the time we were little guys. Like we're making at that time who knows how many pies. But this year was the first year I like felt super like involved. Uh, yeah, it was so fun seeing so many people throughout the industry, throughout the US, throughout other countries that came up to me and knew who I was, and vice versa. It's the pizza community is insane, and getting to test out a lot of products that I've been wanting to check out. The Gosney booth had us in a bunch of the team members,
Mhm.
and I show up and it's like I'm like on the backdrop of the Gosney setup. And so like it just like it
That's
made me
cool.
more confident, I guess. I was like, okay, like I'm like doing this. I am like this is my job.
Yeah.
So it was fun. I mean, it's always I'm sure you've been or no?
I have not, but I'm going this next year. I just
Okay.
started the podcast in January and almost every guest is talking about the Pizza Expo and I was like,
Yeah.
the same, so new. Like, what's the Pizza Expo? Now I know. So now I'll be there.
You should. It's so much fun. It is more of a party. It's more just everyone just hanging out, and it's a good time. But it's so interesting. Like you quickly realize like the different types of operators there are. Whether it's someone that's just trying to be the most efficient at having one location, or the guys that are there that have locations throughout the whole country, and you're just having these conversations. You're finding the similarities. You're finding what's not like what you're doing wrong or what you're doing right. It's super fun. It's taught me a lot. I think my team's gotten quite a bit out of it too, which is nice. We leave with the motivation to oh, like I want to have a brick and mortar so we can get that oven, or like stuff
Yeah.
like that. So
Yeah, absolutely. I could see that for sure
yeah,
being there.
yeah.
That's so awesome. Yeah, I've been very impressed by the pizza community. Like, it seems like people really stick together and help each other. And I've just seen a lot of positivity within, interactions with people. Like, I haven't had one negative interaction.
No, I mean, there's always going to be like gatekeepers, right? There's always going to be some of those scattered throughout, but we've been fortunate, like for the most part, everyone's been really nice. And, whether it's the guys from Prime Pizza, like coming up to the team and saying, what's up? Or, someone like Alex, when I first met him, everyone's very like, we're all just trying to make the best pizza we can and have a good time and, you know, make our employees happy, make our customers happy. Like, why wouldn't you want to share that with other people? There's always room for good pizza.
Yeah, and from what I see, I mean, there's like lines at pizzerias. Like there's so many more people than there are good pizzerias.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's true. I've been noticing kind of like a common theme on social media. Like I follow so many pizza accounts, and it's insane the amount of like it's 6 p.m. we're sold out. Like
Yeah.
it's like I guess from a consumer standpoint, I can see the frustration if you don't understand. But it's also cool seeing from like an operator standpoint, like there's people that are just making great pizza, people are recognizing it. There's people that aren't going to give in to, making X amount of pizza that's not up to quality or their standards. It's cool. It's a really good time for pizza. It's going to get better. I mean, systems are going to get better, tools are going to get better, we're going to get faster, more efficient. It's exciting.
Yeah, I think social media has put a lot on the map. Like I open my feed and I have like my suggested feed and the entire thing is just pictures and videos of pizza.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing.
No, I'll take it. I like it. It's great. Then I know who to connect with to find podcast guests.
Yeah, no, you have it all. I mean, and again, the guests that you've had are like some insane names. I know you just had Scott.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're getting some good guests, you're getting good feedback, so it's good.
Yeah, I love talking to all you guys. It's so enlightening and it's so cool to hear your journeys and to see the products that you put out because like when I look at the pages, it's not just pizza, it's like art. It's the pizza's beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, we really fixate on like, we like the leoparding. We also like it more well done, which I know ain't some people's jam.
I like it like that.
Thanks. Same,
Yeah.
same. Especially like we have the wood oven, and yeah. Yeah, like we really try, and I think I'm seeing more people focusing like on the steps of like how they, whether it's finishing a pie or just like me and my team were having a conversation the other day about like we see so many pizzas with like just raw mushroom thrown onto the pizza, and then like it hits like an extremely high heat. And to me it just looks dry or dull or not appetizing. So I'm seeing a lot more people now starting to like really take into consideration the way they cut something onto a pizza before it gets topped, or the way they finish it, even down to like cut your pizza before you finish it. Like it's going to look so much better when you take a photo.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. I love it. So, let's give everyone your handles and all your information so that they can find you.
Yeah. So Instagram at Lucky Nick's Pizza, luckynickspizza.com. We have a lot of our kind of past pizzas that we've done on there. So if you're interested in catering, you can check that out. We have a Twitter. We're never on it, or X, or whatever you want to call it.
Me neither.
Yeah, I made it
Yeah.
when I started. I was like, this is kind of useless.
Yeah.
I mean, those are mainly our things. I think Instagram is going to be the best, and then like luckynickspizza@gmail.com. We do kind of prefer people email if they're looking for a quote. And yeah, on our Instagram we always have our schedule. We have a lot of pop-ups coming up within the next couple months. Still have some availability throughout the end of the year for caterings. And yeah.
Awesome. Well, Nick, thank you so much for being on the podcast.